Happy Diwali, Deepavali to everyone by Bhagwan Sri Shanmukha Anantanatha. Ever since the Veda was compiled, it understood the principle of Brahman. The Veda was aware of the notion of absolute and the infinite, where the common explanation as the ever-expanding universe originates. It is with this understanding that Om and its light or Prakasha was extolled in the Vedas and was commemorated. Till this day, the specific Lona day is set to commemorate this auspicious light as Diwali in the north of India and Deepavali in the south, and Tamil-speaking communities and all over the world in the Indian diaspora. In North India, with Ramayana as their basis of metaphysics, the people in the north commemorate this day of light in lieu of the return of Rama after his forest expedition. This is a metaphysical narrative and not a story or historical myth. In the south, Diwali is commemorated with the idea that Lord Krishna overwhelmed the limitation of our experience of life with the Naraka Asura episode. With this as the backdrop, one can appreciate why the Hindus, Jains, Sikhs, or even the Buddhists, as the Nevaris in Nepal, commemorate this day of Prakasha or light. Indeed, every religion propitiates that light. In the Quran, it is said, "All praise be to Allah, who created the heavens and the earth and made the darkness and the light." In the Quran, it is said, "Alif Lam Ra." This is a scripture which we have revealed to you, that you may bring the people out of the darkness into light, by the way of the mighty, the praised one. In the Torah, this auspicious light is the light that manifests creation. The Torah holds the analogous value to that of a sacred light as others. Indeed, every religion has reverence to this auspicious light, which has its source in Om. The Hindus simply say Om for the totality of the transcendent with its attribute the universe. Nirguna Brahman with Saguna, Nishkala Brahman with Sakala. The Jains, like the Hindus, hold this day to commemorate the Jaina Tirthankara of the present cosmic age as merging with this transcendent light to attain final liberation or nirvana. The Jains rightfully see this day as the end of their year, as the day of nirvana ends the Tirthankara. It is noteworthy to mention that the Harivamsha Purana mentions Deepavali as Deepalikaya. The Sikhs too commemorate the Ekonkar, colloquial to suit the vernacular language they uphold, as the Tamils with Omkaram. Similarly, the Sikhs have their own narrative to accord with their metaphysics. These metaphysics are simple differences considering their astronomical reconciliation. This festival is also regarded by the traditional Christian communities of India. They too commemorate this day of light with their reading from the Bible or the New Testament. In the initial verses of Genesis, it states, "God created the heaven and the earth, and uttered, 'Let there be light,' and there was light," to infuse life into the universe. It is this day of light that is auspicious, and everyone is inspired to celebrate. This article from Bhagwan Sri Shanmukha's private lecture notes was published for the public on 27th October 2019. This article by Bhagwan Sri Shanmukha expands on the concepts from his books Divine Initiation and Third Eye of the Buddhist. The books were written by him in 1990, edited by Ma Christina, and published in 2001. You can now watch and listen to the playlists on Bhagwan Sri Shanmukha's lectures on Christianity, Bhagwan Shanmukha's advice how to actualize your Tantra practice, philosophy of Tantra simplified and explained by Bhagwan Shanmukha. Please subscribe to our channel to receive updates on more lectures of Bhagwan Shanmukha, which we will be uploading every week. Bhagwan Sri Shanmukha Anantanatha, also known as Parani Swami, is a traditionally educated, initiated Shakta Shaiva Guru who has been teaching the Vedic, Agamic, Tantric, Yogic, and Siddha Shastras for over 40 years to students who come from all over the world to learn from him. He is also an expert in various systems of martial arts. He learned martial arts from the age of 10. He was the first person to legally bring the martial art Taekwondo to India in the 70s, and he was teaching Taekwondo to students all over India and later in other countries too.